Chapter 2, Mishnah 1. We have learned that there are two ways in which a person can make a neder. Either he simply says that the object of the neder is prohibited, or he links it to an item that itself is prohibited because of a person's declaration. For instance, this is like a sacred offering. The previous chapter cited examples of Nedarim that are valid because they refer to items of this type. This chapter begins by dealing with statements that are invalid Nedarim because they are linked either to items that are forbidden by the Torah without a person's declaration, or to items that are not forbidden at all. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. And these are permissible, that is, the following statements do not make anything prohibited. If one person says to another, that which I eat of yours is like chulin, i.e. non-sacred food to me, he remains permitted to eat the other person's food, because he linked it to chulin, which is permissible. If he said, that which I eat of yours is like pork, or like an idol, or like the hides of a levuvin offering, or like nevelas, animals that died without shechita, or like trephos, animals that are fatally damaged, which may not be eaten even after shechita, or like shekatzim, which are non-kosher birds, non-kosher fish and insects, or like remasim, which include worms, maggots, and lice, or like halav Aaron, the portion that must be separated from the dough and given to the Kohanim who are descended from Aaron, or like this truma, the portion that must be separated from produce and given to the Kohanim, mutar. In each of these cases, the food of the other person remains permitted. Since the prohibition of these items did not come from a person's declaration, a neder that links to them is invalid. In the following case, the neder is invalid according to biblical law, but the rabbis agreed that some people must treat it as valid. If someone said to his wife, you are like my mother to me, which means that cohabiting with his wife should be prohibited to him like cohabiting with his mother, the neder is rabbinically valid if he is an Amma Arts, uneducated person, and we may annul the neder only by finding an opening from him from another place. The purpose of these laws is to teach him that he should not take the matter lightly. The sages were concerned that if an Amma Arts, who makes nedarim more frequently than an educated person, gets in the habit of making such statements about his wife, he might eventually make a neder that is valid and prohibit her by biblical law. To prevent him from doing so, they decreed that he must observe even an invalid neder, and they also made it more difficult for him to have it annulled. The Mishnah cites more nedarim that are recognizable only by rabbinic law. If a person says konam, that I will not sleep, or konam, that I will not speak, or konam, that I will not walk, that is, his sleep, speech, or walking are forbidden to him like an offering. Or if someone says to his wife, konam, that I will not cohabit with you, that is, cohabiting with his wife is forbidden to him like an offering, he is subject to the prohibition of he shall not desecrate his word. According to rabbinic law, under biblical law, however, the neder is not effective because sleep, speech, walking, cohabitation are intangible. The preceding applies to a neder. This is in contrast to a shavua, which does take effect on intangible actions, even according to biblical law. If someone said, I make a shavua that I will not sleep, or that I will not speak, or that I will not walk, asur, he is biblically forbidden to sleep, speak, or walk.